Alrighty. Welcome everyone to our first PHP South Africa in over a year now. The last meetup was last May, so it's been quite a while. I'm glad to see quite a few familiar faces here from all over the place, all over the country, all over the online South African PHP scene. Yeah, so tonight's going to be a dual structure. I want to talk a bit about where we've been, where we're going, and what I'd like to see and facilitate in the community as PHP South Africa. And yeah, after that, we're just going to leave it casual and have a little discussion, roundtable, things like that. Cool. So here's tonight's agenda, pretty much. We're going to do, as I said, where we've been, where we're going. We will need you as a part of this. We will have a raffle. We have 2 JetBrains licenses to give away this time around. I will post the raffle form link right now. So in the chat there is the raffle form link. Make sure to... No, wait. Oh, that was just in DM. My bad.
So, considering you only sent it to me, does that mean I will automatically win?
Yeah, you automatically win. Yeah, Zoom defaulting to DMs here. I don't know why. But okay, cool. So now it's sent to everyone. You submit your name and your email there to the raffle. We mostly do it that way just to keep it simpler with having contact details so I can email you the license code for your JetBrains winnings. And yeah, I'll do the draw later on. And yeah, in terms of house rules, the only other thing is if there's any questions, any Q&A, we can leave that to kind of the discussion portion, I suppose. Right, let's move on. Where have we been? Been busy. All of us have been busy. Last 3 years, I think, have been quite rough for a lot of us. So, yeah, between lockdowns and life changes and all these things, I mean, I think we only officially came out of lockdown last year. It's like somewhere mid last year, officially. And yeah, in terms of the organizational team, the previous team with myself and 2 others, we all kind of ran out of time to host these things. And I can say in a personal capacity, I've had quite a bit going on. I've changed jobs, I've moved house, I've done all sorts of things, and especially I burnt out my job last year. And I just did not have the capacity to take on something like this. So I stepped down. Yeah, burnout is real and it hits hard. So yeah, over time, things have gotten better for me on a personal level, I can say that much. And with that, I wanted to help bring PHP South Africa back to the forefront again. So the timing kind of just became right. And roughly after a year after the last meetup, now we're starting up again. Of course, we can't build a community with just one person. So we're restarting the team. The team, as it stands right now, is myself and Jonathan Dell, who's on the call here. And yeah, that's the short version of where things have been. Of course, in the industry itself, we've seen quite a few things like the tech recession. We've seen a lot of companies doing layoffs. PHP itself has had its upgrades. We're nearly around the corner from PHP 8.3 now. And of course, all the framework upgrades, your Laravel 10s, and to be honest, I don't know WordPress and Symfony's upgrade cycles. But I assume there's been some developments in the last year. So yeah. Next up, where are we going? So, first things first, I want to keep the community's interests in mind. So I will also now be sharing a link to a feedback form. I would like to gain input from everyone on where they see the community going, what they'd like to see, what they don't want to see, and how you feel about any particular topics. There we go. So if you can, please fill out that form. We'll really appreciate it. It'll provide us with quite a bit of insight as to how best to move forward. Yeah. So the first thing we want to start doing again is regular meetups. In terms of actual cadence, we've experimented with all sorts of things. We've done monthly, we've done every other month. It's kind of up in the air of which one we'll be doing again. But what we at least want to have is regularity with it. And I think there is a section in that feedback form for this. Right. The next part then is we also want to get back to in-person meetups. It's been 3 years since the last in-person meetup. I would know because it was PHP Cape Town in January 2020. That was the first in-person meetup I hosted and the only. Everything just went online afterwards. So yeah, obviously not counting things like the WordPress meetups and anything else. I'm speaking specifically about PHP Cape Town, Joburg, and the merge into PHP South Africa. The other thing generally is the tech stack, so to speak. The main thing really is I want to put it up for debate, but also I feel that meetup.com is not a helpful platform as a community here. I don't think the tools are useful. It basically hosts a page and charges you a ton of money to do so. And the main real benefit there is just discovery on the platform. But I believe that with the active presence and the active community participation, discovery becomes a lot easier on social media and on Google and all the places where you find these things without having to rely on one source for new blood, so to speak. Yeah. The main platform I'm looking at right now for this is Luma. I've heard good things about it. It seems to be really simple. I know OfferZen hosts quite a few events with it, and they seem to be really happy with it. But if you have any other suggestions, let me know. I know everyone basically has had their own idea of like, oh, I can just start a meetup competitor as a startup, but we never get around to it. So yeah, those are the main things. And next I want to talk about the potentials here. So going forward, I think we have a lot of potential here, which is a loaded word. We can do things beyond meetups here, and that's what I'm trying to get at. We had a conference in 2018 under a different PHP South Africa organization. There was a very minor rumbling on Twitter about that, I think last year or this year. But I think we could get to the point like that in future again, and I hope we will. So yeah, other than that, I think there's space generally for this localized content space to grow and be a proper worldwide force. I really think we can do that here. And I'd like PHP South Africa to either facilitate that or be part of that creation process, or just to help local community members and promote the content. And obviously that flies under the banner of beyond meetups. So videos, articles, short form content, long form content, podcasts, newsletters, all the works. I think there's space for a lot of these things there, but we need people to do it, and we need an active participation there. So under that, we need you as community contributors to assist us there. Share your content, share your stories, and share anything else you want in the PHP world with us. And very importantly, help us grow this. Between the 3 meetups of PHP Joburg, PHP Cape Town, and then the merger into PHP South Africa, We've had roughly the exact same RSVP and attendance numbers for the 3 years between all those. So we want to see that grow, and we want to see more faces, more new blood, and helping each other out. So share this meetup, share the site, share anything with your colleagues, with your organizations if they're interested in participating. On social media is also helpful, and wherever else you think is relevant. An important partner in this space, I believe, is also ZA Tech. For those of you who have not heard about it, zatech.co.za. It is one of the largest Slack communities based around a region in the world, actually. I think it's one of the most active I've seen. But most importantly, it's the most active community in South Africa that I've seen. And it acts as our hub for PHP South Africa as well. So I'd love to see more of us over there. And lastly, for anyone else who wants to help out even more, we're keen on hearing from you. There's another section in that feedback form for this. So if you'd like to participate as an organizer, as a volunteer, if you want to be on that content side, like I mentioned earlier, or even sponsorships, we're open to sponsorships in any form, really. Event swag, like lots of companies have done before, venue hosting, catering alongside that potentially, and even small contributions to running costs like a Zoom subscription, a Meetup, a website, or any other tech we end up running with. And thank you for posting that. And yeah, that's the gist of everything I have to say for tonight. Yeah. So I hope everyone submitted their names for the raffle. All right, I see we have a few there. I'm just here for the license. Yeah, I get you. I'm gonna change my screen share now. If you'll give me a minute. I mean, it's okay to just be here for the license too, you know. Trying out doing the actual randomized selection on the call this time. Last time it's basically been I put a bunch of names in a random number generator and hope for the best. But yeah, I see more submissions coming in. Damn, should close those off. Okay, that's the last one I'm taking in then. Let's do this. If you don't know the site, Wheel of Names, very nice and helpful to have a go. So our first winner then is Kyle. Congrats.
Yes, please.
What are you going to use the license for? Which product? Do you know?
Yeah, maybe, but I'll be admitting that I'm not using PHP Storm at the moment.
Probably time to start then.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we do have another one, so Grant has another chance. Oop. Andre is our second winner. Awesome stuff.
Awesomeness.
Do you have an idea what you're going to buy or what you're going to get with the license?
Probably Golang or PHP Storm.
Golang's got a good synergy there, so good pick.
Hmm.
Cool. So I will email you these licenses after the meetups. Just note they do have a redemption expiry. So they'll last for 1 year when you redeem them, but they need to be redeemed before a certain date. I believe the earliest one is October, and then the next one's November. So not a huge rush, but please do redeem it. Cool. And that leaves us to the final part of the evening. What have you been up to? I want to leave the floor open here. I will stop recording here. I think that's a good place. Yeah. So if anybody wants to kick us off,